It's alright. It's got a pop shield on it. You're the only one that uses it. There's nobody else that.
No, I just don't want to be like too
Shouty.
hate the sound of my voice.
Yes. Welcome on in. It's our podcast.
While it's been a while.
You're going to have to come a little bit closer. Just a little bit closer.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit closer. It's the Sarah Butler at Home podcast. David here, Sarah there. How are you?
Hello.
June 25th.
Was the last one. What month are we in now? October, November. Oh, God.
Yeah, not good.
That was quite a break.
But look, we aimed for quarterly, and I think we're nearly there.
We're nearly there. Well,
Yeah.
look, there's a lot going on. So
There's been a lot going on, and we've got a lot to talk about
We do.
and to catch up on. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you can stay with us for the next little while. We're going to talk about books, food, and random other items as well.
always the random stuff.
Yeah, we love the random stuff. Oh, you know what? This happens, and I think most people who listen to this podcast know how this works. So there's no podcast since June the 25th, and then at 2:30 there's a text to say, can you record it at 25 to 3? So
I have a gap.
I've literally just remembered I don't have a quickfire, but we'll find
We'll
something.
figure it out.
Let's talk about, first, your third book.
Yes, for my sins.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
I'm amazed you got to one.
I was going to say something there, but I
Don't
thought
say
this is
anything.
going out to people in the public.
So we're on to number 3. Can we tell people, what's it called first? What's it called?
Yes, it's called Comfort Food,
Oh, lovely.
and that's exactly what it is.
It's perfect this time of the year.
Yeah.
Comfort food.
Absolute comfort food. So it is, like people always say, what's different about this one? It's not really anything different. It's, they've gone so well. I've kept kind of the same. So it's divided into bakes, lunch, dinner, and desserts. You've got yummy normal stuff that's really easily in the method described with normal ingredients, that every recipe has a corresponding photograph, which you just have to have.
I get so many times people say to me, randomly, strangers in a shop saying, I love Sarah's recipes because they're just easy to follow and I have the stuff there.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not looking for in an exotic shop in a Capel Street in Dublin trying to find one ingredient that will change the whole thing around. There's stuff that you have there.
Exactly.
Stuff that you can freeze, stuff that you can use, and it keeps it very simple. Fabulous. So, what are we talking about this? So, when I think of comfort food, I'm thinking of like breads, a nice bread.
Oh, there's lots of lovely bread. So you've got like fruit loaves and cherry loaves.
Ooh.
Then you've got like proper white bread that
Okay.
you make with the yeast.
Okay, let's start with the white bread then. Okay,
Yeah.
just homemade white bread.
Yeah.
How many ingredients in that? Very few?
3, 4.
Wow.
Strong white flour, yeast, sugar, oil, and water.
Okay, and the yeast,
Butter in.
that yeast, is that one of these yeasts that lives on?
No, I haven't got that far in my career as a foodie. It's the packet.
Okay, packet of yeast.
Yeah. The little sachet. But the thing with yeast is you have to activate it. So the water that you put it into has to be warm enough that it will, I suppose, wake up. That activates it. Because if it's too cold, it won't.
Okay. Now, can I ask you a question? So what we're making now is just normal white bread.
Yes.
Is that different than pizza dough?
No.
Okay, so you
Pretty
can...
much the same. You can put a little bit more sugar in it if you want to have it a little bit sweeter. There's different ways of proofing it. I like to kind of proof it once. That's where you let it puff up.
Right.
And then you punch it down and you knead it.
Okay.
And then make, whether it's a pizza base or little rolls or whatever, or bagels. I made bagels last week actually. They worked out really well. And then I like to put that in the fridge.
Okay.
Because it's always easier to work with yeast bread when it's cold because
Okay.
it doesn't spring back in. Did you ever try and make the pizza base and you're rolling it and it just shrinks back in?
Yep.
You know, it's a bit like a woman. You have to just leave us alone.
I thought it was a bit like
Let her
something
cool
else.
down.
I thought it was a bit like it's another part of a man. Nothing. Say nothing.
Speak for yourself. I don't have that problem at home. It's quite the opposite,
What are
actually.
we? Well, 4 minutes in, lads. 4 minutes in.
Garbage mouth. So yeah, it's a lovely, easy recipe, and it's just one of them lovely things to know how to make.
Yeah. Okay. So, so how long from start to finish, from the starting of it to the finishing
Yeah,
of
it
it?
is quite a thing. Like, there is a bit of time. So what I always say is do the first proof the night before.
Okay.
So knead it, let it rise for an hour, give it a knockback, and then knead it.
When you're letting it rise, do you put it in a bowl, cover it with a towel or cling film?
Towel or cling film, and just oil the bowl so that the dough doesn't stick to it, and put it somewhere warm.
So into a hot press or something
Or
like
you
that?
can proof it overnight in the fridge.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So if you do that the night before, it's a bit like making any bread. Just make it the night before and then finish it in the morning.
How many times am I letting that happen? Rise?
Twice.
Okay, and then roll it out into a loaf shape or put it in a loaf tin?
The first proof is you knead it, you put it into your bowl and you leave it for an hour or two and it'll rise up, and then you take it and knead it and make your balls of pizza dough,
Right.
or your bagels or whatever you're making, and then put it away again, and that's the second rise, and then you just glaze it and pop it in the oven. You don't need it after that.
Okay.
yeah.
How long would a white bread that you make yourself last?
But I don't know, because it never lasts in our house more than
good.
the day that I make it.
That's good,
But
isn't
you
it?
could freeze it if you wanted to make 2 loaves.
That's good. So if we want to introduce then kind of a fruit bread,
Yeah.
what's the difference there?
Well, that's not the fruit bread and the cherry loaf and the fruit loaf. That's your whole, or your self-raising flour.
Okay.
It's not
different.
your
It's not the strong white flour.
white
Okay.
flour.
Okay.
And there's no yeast in it, so you don't need to do the proofing. So that's like your traditional
Straight
loaf.
in.
In a loaf tin, lovely to have when you come home. Slice of
What? Yeah, a bit
that
of
with
butter.
butter and jam.
What fruit are you putting into that one?
Cherries,
Oh.
and then the other one is mixed fruit. So you've got
Oh, the mixed fruit.
lots of different things.
That brings
And
me
if you want to
back.
put nuts in, you can. Whatever you want.
Can we leave out the cherries? Not a
Do you
fan
not
of.
like cherries?
Don't
I love
like cherries.
I love cherries.
Just I see cherries and something, I start picking them out.
Yeah, no, I'll remember that.
Oh yeah.
I won't bring you cherry cake, so
So that's cherry cake as well. It's cherry bread.
it's like I do it in a loaf tin. You can make it as a cake, but it's just easier. All my recipes, I try to keep them as family friendly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And a loaf tin is just really handy because you can cut it into slices.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do it in the cake, there's you're cutting it, and I just think that it's easier in a loaf tin.
She's giving me the look already. The terrier teeth were out there. In other words, I like it that way,
And that's the way it's going to be in my book. Yes, exactly.
Okay, other things.
So they're the bakes. So you've got lovely breads and loads of different scones and soups and just winter comfort food, quiches. Then you've got lunch, which actually a lot of the lunches could be dinners. You've got like the fajitas, you've got crunchy chicken, you've got creamy salmon baked potato. So that's really
What's that?
That's so yummy. So you make your baked potatoes.
Okay.
And then you've got a little bit of salmon, so you can cook that and have that mixed with mayonnaise and cream cheese and scallions, and you mash it back in with the potato and put it back into the potato skin,
Right.
and you put cheese on top and grill it.
Oh,
Really good for lunch.
that's like a
with a salad.
very fancy baked potato. that is.
Exactly. And I'm mad I didn't bring the bloody proof with me, because I'm here going through my phone to try and find an email that I sent to the printers with it. So I'm just thinking off the top of my head what was in it. Then they've got the main dinners. You've got like a beef curry, slow cooked beef curry.
A slow cooked beef curry.
Good.
Lovely.
So good.
Okay, so let's don't you're like a racehorse.
There's 60 recipes. We don't have enough time to talk
Let's
about them all.
come back to the beef curry for just a second. Okay, so we're getting our chunks of beef, brown them off,
Yeah.
and then.
Dave, nobody's going to buy the book if I tell them how to make the thing.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
You're absolutely crap at sales.
Buy the book; it's in there. I'm just thinking, I'd love a beef curry. It's really nice. So beef curry. You're not using any jars. There's no.
No, it's all there's sauces in it. I teach you how to make a gorgeous béarnaise sauce, a parsley sauce, proper chip shop curry from scratch.
Oh, lovely. Chip shop curry's good.
Stuff like that.
Okay, so from beef curry to what's next? What are we?
There's a chicken curry in there as well, a lovely one where you blitz the sauce, so there's no chunks. I don't really like a chunky curry with chunks of veg in it.
Oh,
I prefer it with the meat and the sauce.
okay.
You make that sauce with your veg,
Yes. Okay.
and then you blitz it.
So it's like a soup.
No, it's not like a soup. Jesus, David. What curries are you making?
Curry
Do
soup.
you remember curry beans? I used to love them as a kid.
Oh my
Curry
God.
beans, and they still make them.
Can you imagine the farts after that? Curry beans.
Yeah, curry beans. Yeah, I saw them
I'd say
recently.
in curry bean, out fart in about
Yeah.
10
no,
minutes.
David, it's like, when you go to an Indian
Yes.
and you get the meat, it's like the meat and it's in a sauce.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the idea.
All right,
that sauce
okay.
is made by doing different. There's a gorgeous chicken korma in there as well. It's really good.
Right. Okay. Okay.
All the tips. So that's that. And then
Next.
you've got your traditional kind of beef casseroles, chicken wrapped in bacon, stuffed with yummy things, and lasagna, quiche, chicken burger. There's cod and salmon recipes in there. There's the lamb cutlets with caramelized red onions.
Oh.
Then you've got stuff like how to make a really good triple decker BLT.
Okay. Proper.
Stuff like that. Egg sandwich. I love egg sandwich, but I do it on a toasted slice of bread, sourdough.
Okay. I wouldn't be a fan of the egg sandwich now, I have to say.
But funny, I didn't think people were, but I did a poll on my page. And the amount of people that were like, oh my God, give us the recipe for the egg sandwich. So that's kind of how I picked my
I'd say it's probably
recipes.
the smell of it that put you off rather than the taste of it.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing worse than walking into a house and there's been egg sandwiches.
Yeah, or if you're in an office and somebody goes,
you
just going to take on my egg sandwich.
It's a rule. You just cannot bring egg sandwiches to work.
Don't bring it.
So there's lots of things like that that are just yummy things. And as I said, most of the recipes I picked are based on followers. What do you want?
Yeah. So how many recipes are we talking?
60.
60 different recipes.
Yeah, I know.
Is that a record?
I didn't have a bloody thing now with me. I wish I had it because I feel like I just said about 6 of them. And like you think I'd know them off by heart. I've been looking at them for the past 8 months.
I know, yeah.
The desserts then.
So
it
tell
is a
us
record. It is. It's like 60.
I was going to say
The others are
60 sounds
50.
like a record. 50 is it? So what's the process? When does it start? When do you start thinking?
I usually kind of have to make the decision by March whether I'm going to do one or not.
Okay.
To have it done by now. And you start by writing your recipes. So you write them up in Word and then you go through them and make sure that like everything is in order. So as you're reading the recipe, so fry the onions and the garlic. So they have to be first on the ingredients list. They can't be down the bottom.
Yeah.
So that whole process, and then mix, combine. You can't say mix too many times, so you have to try and make it really easy in the same frying pan, because it's like, well, are they using the same frying pan? Or are they using a different frying pan? The conversations I had with my editor, we were like, oh my God. One of the things actually we missed, we caught it at the very end. She said, you said put it into a mental.
Instead of metal.
Instead of mental. Put it into the mental tin.
There's a few mentals.
I have mental tins in my house, don't you? So there's an awful lot of proofing. So you do it all in Word first, and then that goes to the editors, and they proof it, and I proof it, and they proof it, and I proof it, and then I have to cook and photograph all the recipes. So I did all of that myself.
Okay.
So I have a stack of tiles at home. Like I had to go into a tile shop and go, hiya, can I just get one of them and one of them and one of them? He's like, why? I was like, I need to photograph food. So you have one behind and one underneath.
Oh, lovely.
So I have a selection of single tiles at home. So yeah, you have to photograph, and then while you're photographing, do a little video, so you have that for a kind of B-roll promo for when it's coming out.
Yeah.
Put them all into their folders and design, which is a nice part.
And would you come back to edit then afterwards and say?
Oh my God, you have to edit. So you go from Word into Photoshop then, and then you have to go right. The curry, what do I put after the curry? There's too many beefs together. We need to mix that up. I was going to mix everything up, actually. That was one of the questions. What's great about the Instagram is that you can ask people, what do you think? I was like, going to mix all the things up. So have like chocolate cake, and then have beef curry, and then have egg sandwiches. But they were like, no.
Yeah, I could see how that could mess with people's heads.
I thought it'd be like, ooh, what's next?
Yeah.
But they didn't like that. Which
No.
is so brilliant to have that resource there to ask them.
Yeah, of course,
So I was like, okay, we won't do that. So yeah, you have to do your layout, and then proof again, print, go through it again and again and again, and you'll miss something and you go, Jesus, how did I not see that? Or Sue, my editor, was like, yeah, Sarah, you've called that mental instead of metal or whatever, or garlic diced or minced, it has to be the same throughout. Tablespoons, is it going to be spelled fully or TBSP? Make sure the index corresponds with the name of the recipe.
And would you say
numbers.
now, after book 3, is it getting any easier, or would you find
yeah, it did get a lot easier. The whole process I knew, but like that last 2 weeks, I questioned everything so many times. I was like, what?
Where's the mental
What
pots?
have I started? Like, why did I do this again? And like, you're literally sending it to print the next day, and she was on the phone to me. She said the mental thing, and I was like, oh my God, so what if there's something I've missed? What if I've missed something really, really important, and it goes to print, and I've missed it? And then you're like, oh Jesus Christ, what am I doing?
But there's another book at home who goes through it too, doesn't he? Does he not?
Oh, he does. He goes through it as well.
No, he misses nothing.
No, he misses nothing. He's very good. So, yeah, look at, and then you just get to the stage of, look at, people have to use their own heads.
Yeah.
If there's a word spelt a little bit wrong, so be it. I've done my best.
It's the creative part of a human. So at what point do you say, that's what I want?
Yeah.
Or like, when do you wrestle with yourself when you say, I could have done that a bit better? Or
Oh, you don't. I mean, I've been on to my printer, Mihal, and I said, Mihal, there, will you send me through a few videos when you're printing it? So I showed them to you. He had sent them through to me. And I didn't know if I was going to have a shit or a puke. I was like, oh my Jesus Christ, this is like, I need to just puke. Oh shit, I'm not sure what to do because this is like, it's real.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's real. Yeah.
It's like, it's exciting, but I never really let myself get too excited because you're like, oh shit, because this is all my financial risk.
Yeah.
You know, it's all my money that I'm putting into it. Now, I do have sponsors, which have been fantastic for some of the recipes, but the bulk of it is on my head.
Yeah.
And I have to sell it. I don't have a team of people to come along and create fabulous content.
Yeah.
I have to sell it myself.
No,
so.
that's been your strength though over the last couple of years. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen how you've worked. It's been an amazing journey in such a short space of time. Somebody was asking me recently about how did this podcast start, and I said, well, when Sarah started her journey.
Journey, I sound like I've changed sex or something. Was she a man?
That could happen next. Nothing is out of bounds. But I
Sean
said,
Butler at home.
I said, what we got to do here is, get you used to microphones, being around studios, being with people, all that kind of stuff. And you said, can we do it now?
Oh, everything else we done yesterday.
And from there, the journey, and I've always said that it's been yourself. It's you've always driven it on. Drive it on. You know, the difference is. Because I think people know at this stage the amount of effort goes in because it's 24 hours a day. I mean, the last time I saw you was in the back of a taxi. It must have been 5 or 6 weeks ago. We were going home in the back of the taxi. You were taking a photograph of your shoes.
That's such funny.
And I was going, what are you taking a photograph of your shoes for? And you're like, that's the point where I'd be going, oh, this is all the time. It's not just...
It's all the time, but I don't have to do it all the time.
Yeah,
I just love being creative. It's just, for me as a creative person, like it's just, there's so much creativity in Instagram and creating reels. I spend far too much time trying to marry up music with reels. I was like an hour and a half trying to pick a song to go with a reel yesterday. I was like, no, that's not it. That's not it.
I've fallen in love with TikTok myself now. I have fallen in love with TikTok.
Yeah, I just don't have time for all of them.
It's just too much. There's too much. Yeah. It happens too quickly.
Yeah.
And
it does. TikTok is very fast.
I'm on it. I haven't posted anything yet because, well, I've gone through the baby steps of how to use it. Yeah. Because you have to go back to stage one and say, how do I use this thing? But most of the time I spend scrolling and then I find something funny and I send it on to somebody. Yes. I go, oh, this is funny.
You find very
Look at this cat.
Cats. Yeah, I found a great fella and he's a load of cats and he puts them in a talkie voice. Hey John,
yeah.
Hey John, and he does it while they're meowing, so it looks like they're talking. Oh, stop it! Hours are wasted.
I sent one yesterday of a cat on a mattress, and the woman comes in and says, say the name of the cat is Mary. I don't know. Mary, are you stuck? Yes, I am.
I love them.
Okay, so where can people pick up the book? We've talked a lot about it.
Well, I didn't talk about the desserts.
Sorry.
The desserts. The desserts, for like one dessert alone, the book is worth getting because they are so delicious. And this is just some of them.
Go on.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So you've got red velvet cake, and all the tips on how to make that red velvet cake.
What's a red velvet cake?
Oh my god, it's a red velvet cake. It's red in the middle.
What?
Instead of it being like a sponge, which is like the colour of my hair.
Right.
It's red. It's red. And you've got white icing on, buttercream icing on. Okay, you're obviously not a red velvet person.
No, but what's the red velvet made of? It's not, like, what's it made of? What's the red?
Velvet.
Velvet what, though?
No, red. Colouring.
Okay, so is it a red sponge cake?
Exactly. But there are one or two little tricks
What's
in
the
there
filling?
that you have to do to make it very delicious. The filling is buttercream.
Right.
Vanilla buttercream.
Lovely.
I've got donuts in there, but they're like the donuts that you don't require yeast for, and the kids love them. Sticky toffee pudding and butterscotch sauce. Yeah. You've got Oreo cupcakes, chocolate Swiss roll with chocolate ganache.
Oh.
So good. And there's a massive tip in the chocolate Swiss roll, how to roll it without it cracking.
Yes. Is that tea towel?
No.
Wet tea towel?
No. Creme brulee.
You're not giving me
You'll
anything.
have to buy the book, David.
Yeah.
Creme brulee.
This is the way I have to even buy the book. For
I know,
Jesus.
I'll give you a book.
Come here. So, which would be your favourite of the desserts?
I couldn't pick one. Oh my god, there's a chocolate cake in there and it's just so yum. I'm going to show you a picture of it. The chocolate cake, I think that might be my favourite one. It's so delicious. And again, there's a really top tip in this chocolate cake, how to make it really, really light and fluffy. I love the creme brulee, but I love the chocolate cake. Then there's an apple and custard glazed
There I am.
tart.
That's what I like. That's my one.
Apple and custard glazed
I
tart.
love that.
Do you?
Oh, yes.
With an apricot glaze
See,
on top.
I grew up with apple pie. You know, we grew up with apple pie. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't like apple pie anymore because we had...
Yeah, I've married to one of you.
So
I
that
know
is
what
my
that's like.
chocolate cake. Look at that. Oh, so delicious.
Oh, yeah. And here comes the word, lads.
What?
Moist.
Moist. Gotta be moist. It's very important. Oh, we've got cheesy croquettes.
Oh.
Potato croquettes.
With cheese in them.
Yeah.
Very good.
They're so good.
Is that in the book as well?
Yeah, that's in the book as
Wow.
well.
God, amazing.
That's the fruit loaf. Do you like my photography? I
Yeah.
improved a little bit.
You're always good at photography. So you taking them in a portrait style?
And the Oreo cupcakes. In a portrait style, what do you mean?
I don't know, my phone is at the style that says portrait and I just click on that and it does a portrait.
Alright, well I have spotlights and everything. That make you hungry now, them lovely lamb cutlets.
Oh, the lamb cutlets. You know, you mentioned the lamb cutlets there, and I was going to tell you about the lamb cutlets. We used to do a lamb cutlet with... So you do the lamb cutlets and you put cherry tomatoes in them and balsamic
Vinegar.
over them
Yeah.
and into the oven.
Lovely. Kind of like a Spanish way of doing it.
Yeah, very Spanishy actually. Oh, we're missing the rosemary. There's rosemary in there too.
Rosemary,
So you
yes.
put that in too, and it's absolutely
Garlic.
delicious. Bit of garlic, yeah.
Got to have the garlic.
Yeah. So this is my portrait. So that's how my portrait works. So there,
right, okay.
I'm showing now portraits of the
Of the
cats.
cat.
Yeah. So there's the
Who is
cat.
Bob's brother? Sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob has never done what she's done. They were just saying,
Bob's
we actually said this the last
such
day.
a good cat.
Bob is your cat and Oreo is our cat. They're brother and sister. But Bob, we talked about this the last day. Bob would never do what she does.
No, she's the potato.
Oh my God, she's horrendous.
Yeah.
Where can people get the book?
People will be able to get the book. I'm really, 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 really hoping to have it next Saturday, which is the 3rd or the 4th. But that will all depend on logistics and stuff. If not, it'll be any day after that. And it's available at sarahbutleratHome.com. And it will also be available in Castle Books and Castlebar and a flurry of super values around the place, which I'll confirm all on my Instagram.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
Yeah.
That's really exciting. So once it's there, do once it's there in the shops, you're looking at it in the stands.
Yeah.
Do you then go?
Yeah, well, you do, but you still need to sell it. You still need to go home and do your videos and put them together and tell people what's in it, and you can learn this and you learn that. And all the recipes have tips. So, like, let's just say a recipe may have an ingredient that you may not use again. I'll give a tip on how you can maybe use it in something else. Try it in this recipe, or you can freeze it, or you can leave it out and try this if you don't have that. So yeah, it's like anything. It doesn't sell itself.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow, absolutely. Well, Bulabus. Oh, it's comfort food. Comfort food.
Yeah.
Sarah Butler. Sarah Butler's
Foods.
Comfort Foods. That sounds really good.
Yeah, and on like it's my 3rd cookbook, but you have just celebrated a big milestone as well.
What milestone is that?
25 years in the radio.
Yeah, I'm 25 years doing this
I
job.
brought you a little present.
Oh, did you? Because I don't want to talk about it because this isn't the place to talk about it.
Yeah, but you do really want to talk about it.
No, but I don't want. But
How did it make you feel?
it conflicts me a lot, to be honest.
Why? You have a midlife crisis.
Yeah, no, not midlife crisis, because it doesn't feel like 25 years, but it can't. It in some ways, I celebrated. It's huge. It's massive. We had a great day. A lovely response to it from people. It was really nice. It's all available there for you to listen, by the way, listeners. You can listen to that as well. If you just put in my name, you'll get it there. But it was a lovely day and great surprises. But there's also a lot of reflecting to do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just reflect on, well, why did I do 25 years? But there's
I know, but you're so good at it, David. Like, what else would you have done? Could you see yourself doing anything? I can't imagine you've been David the plumber or David the solicitor or accountant.
Well, I reckon myself that I'm a failed thick pilot, because it's the buttons I love. It's the buttons and the flashing lights.
Really?
So yeah, so that's when I was a kid, I wanted to be on a plane or on a train, and when I started,
You're a train driver.
yeah, Yes, I said that during the week that this job's up now. I could finally be a train driver.
Good.
I'd hate it after like 5 minutes.
Can you imagine doing the same route every day? Oh my God, I'd be asleep.
But it's the flash. Then when the disco started, I started DJing. It was all the flashing lights. It was the disco, all that. Got to a radio studio. What do them buttons do?
Loads of buttons.
You know, went to college and people who were in college like, yes, I like to listen to BBC Radio 4 in the morning. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard radio in the morning. I don't. They were all, my favourite presenter is, and I'd be like, I don't know who's anybody's presenting.
Yeah.
So I fell into that all by complete accident.
So if you had to do it all again, and you didn't do radio, what do you think you would have done?
No, I think you find your path that you're supposed to be on, and I think what's for you doesn't go against you. And I do know, because a lot of people, we've talked about the early days, and a lot of people said when I came back from doing college, and I wasn't the next Jerry Ryan, and there was, my father tried his best to get me to do other jobs, and I would last one day in them. And I would go, it's not me, I can't do that, so I'm going to just have to wait, and the moment will come. And the moment came when some fella hurt his back, and you get a week on the radio, and the next thing, bang, you're 25 years into it. Yeah. So, but
Well done.
Go on, what you get me?
I got a present. I got you a little present because you're very, very old. Dada. Granddada.
Dada wine, lads.
Dada wine.
I do like the Dada wine now. Dada wine is nice.
I really thought about this. I did not buy that 3 seconds before I came in the door. Across the road.
She did.
But I did also buy you. Because you are a Star Bar.
Ah, Star Bar.
A Star
Well,
Bar
do
and
you
a
know-
bottle of wine.
Well, I'll have
done.
that this evening now watching the rugby.
That's your dinner.
That's it done now. I brought penguins.
Oh, I hate penguins.
Yeah, but we're not going to eat them. But did
We're
you
going to
hear?
have wine and look at them.
Have you not seen the big
No.
thing about the penguins that's been all over social media in the last little while? I don't know why I'm opening them because I have no way. But apparently, lots of people have been saying on social media over the last couple of weeks that your penguin bar, pick up a penguin, is actually just a bourbon biscuit
Yeah,
with chocolate over
It
it.
is, and it's gross, and I hate bourbon biscuits too.
And people have been scraping off the chocolate and they find bourbon written underneath it.
Ah, stop.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
So I was looking every place for a knife, but I don't have a knife
Oh
to
my
scrape it off.
God.
Yeah, that's why I bought penguins.
Never liked them. Chocolate was always... Is it Nestle?
McVitie's.
Vitties. No, I never
Yeah.
liked them.
So people were saying this about the penguin, that if you scrape off the chocolate, it says bourbon underneath it, or the bourbon biscuits, which are apparently a commodity in secondary schools because people go out and buy them because you can buy packets of bourbon biscuits for like 30 cents.
Yeah, they're so cheap.
Yeah, and then they go back and sell them. to the school.
Oh, they do, yeah. These little mini businessmen in like first year.
Yeah. The other
Making
thing
money.
that's been talked a lot on social media is lines as tea bags. I'm sure you've seen this one.
Something about the tea bag being a different shape or something?
Yeah, the pyramid tea bag is going.
Yeah.
So 10 years ago we were introduced to the pyramid tea bag. This is the
I
future.
hear such nonsense.
Now we're going back to the square tea bag, and it's for environmental reasons. There's been an awful lot about that on social media at the minute. They say less packaging is needed, it will improve in quality. So, you have to ask yourself, when we were told 10 years ago this was the best thing in the world,
Yeah.
and now we're told this is the best thing in the world, when was the best thing in the world? I don't understand it. And also, there's been lately, they've had to teach people, a step-by-step guide. Maybe you could put this in your next book.
You said you didn't do any work on this podcast, and there you are with a load of pages.
I'll let you in a little secret afterwards.
You were in here every Saturday.
No, I put these things
I miss
aside.
her so much.
I'd be on the radio sometimes, and I'd say,
You've got a little podcast pipe.
I go, oh, that's something now that'd be. If the podcast was running now, that's something we could talk about.
There's a
Heinz,
little dig there. If the podcast was running.
yeah, because it's you.
What?
Beans on toast.
Yeah.
A step-by-step guide, because only 1 in 5 people know how to do it. So, Sarah Butler, how do you do beans on toast?
I do beans on toast do the toast, let it cool a bit, butter it, put the beans on, and then put some white cheddar on top and put it under the grill.
Well, of course, you've gone Sarah Butler on it now. There's no mention of
I
cheese.
used to do that, but if actually followers told me to try it, and it's very, very good.
Oh, I think somebody said a baked potato as well, beans and,
Oh, yeah,
and a bit of
and
cheese.
So good.
It's good. Apparently, they say the 5-point recipe says you should put butter in or bread in the toaster first.
Yeah,
Then shake the tin of beans and open. It's important you shake the tin.
right.
Heat them, but don't boil them.
Okay, because it'll stick to the bottom of the pan.
Put butter on your toast, and then pour the beans over it. Who isn't doing that?
What?
What other ways are they
to
doing it?
Like, what other way? But this is what I mean about writing a cookbook. It's like you have to really explain things. 'Cause it's like, well, would they not know that?
Yeah, so there's a 5-point plan to how to do beans on toast.
Wow.
So how are you doing a quiche?
Jeez,
You
there
know,
you go.
Very good. You did mention quiche as well. That's in the
I
book
did,
too,
yeah,
is it?
there's a lovely quiche in it.
I'm
yeah.
fond of a quiche.
Yeah.
Mondays is normally quiche day for us
Yeah, 'cause
because I would
there's
cook a
nothing
ham on a
to-
Sunday, and then we would have ham left over. I'd say put that in, and on Monday then you're saying we had a heavy weekend or we'll
You
just have
always
quiche.
say that heavy weekend, you go light on Monday. I never do.
What, you don't go heavy at the weekend and light
No,
on
I
a
go
Monday?
heavy at the weekend, but it just doesn't make me go light on a Monday. Like, I
just-
don't come home and say, I think I'll have a salad now because I drank 4 bottles of wine over the weekend.
Right, so that was my food. So it was tea bags and
No.
I don't think there's anything else. Hold on, was there? Oh yes, the other thing. Yeah, there you go.
What?
This week we're only Halloween, and a lot of people are talking about Christmas already because it's only 2 months away. We might do a Christmas special this year.
Yeah,
will we?
definitely.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, that's like the time you said to me, "Would you cook a recipe in front?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we'll do that. Definitely. We'll do that. Definitely."
Well, I want to do the podcast live and do a cook along.
Yeah. But that's no
Alright,
problem.
we'll do that,
yeah, but
so.
what you'll do is you'll ring me up and you'll say, "We're going to do that now in about 11 minutes." I go,
Get
"Yeah,
over here
okay,
now."
that's no problem." But the other turkey. So people, modern, like, what do you have with your turkey?
On Christmas Day,
What would you pour over your turkey?
gravy.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Then the young ones don't like the gravy.
Do they not?
They want ketchup.
Stop.
They want mayonnaise. They want chili sauce.
See, this is the problem. People won't know how to cook. They don't know how to cook, and that's where the problems are going to start.
Yeah.
That's why they need to buy my book.
Buy the book.
Buy the book.
By the way, we're talking about the book, and we moved on to other things as well. But I want to talk about being an influencer because it's such a new job. It's only a job that appeared inside the last 5 or 10 years. And I heard something on the radio the last day about new rules. What's the
Yes.
new rules about?
There's new rules, and it's so funny because some are like absolutely not impressed with this at all.
Disgusted.
Disgusted that they're
My
not going
free
to be-
speech is done. How dare you?
I'm not going to be able to sit and open all these gifted boxes.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically, I'm so glad that I said no to all these PR companies that would be like, can we send you this? Can we send you that? I took a few in the beginning. And
Is that the way they do it? They go,
They say it just like that. So basically, there's new rules coming in that are saying like that obviously if you're doing a paid collaboration, so if I'm making scones with Connacht Gold, I have to put sponsored post or ad on that.
Yeah.
Right? So that the person watching knows that I'm been paid to do this. But also if you get sent a gift by Johnny the jeweler and he sends you
Man, Johnny.
Johnny the jeweler.
Did he send you those earrings?
No, he didn't send me
They
them.
match up. I just
bought
noticed
them.
they match up with the thing in your hair.
Thanks. Oh, they do. Jesus, I'm very coordinated. You have to put gifted
Okay.
because what was happening was influencers were coming on going, oh my god, this is so amazing, you have to buy it, and they weren't putting gifted, and the people that watched them were going, oh gosh, I must buy that, and then they bought it and maybe it wasn't so hot. That's the problem. So I think it's a brilliant idea. I think it needs to be regulated because it's no more than packaging on food. It's it's a pity the government are not been a little bit more strict on the food labelling side of things over an influencer getting a gift of eyeliner, because that's something I think that the government really needs to focus on, like the way the food is labelled and marketed.
Yeah, we'll talk about that now in a second, actually.
You know, but the same thing applies. So I think it's really good because the brands aren't going to be taking advantage of influencers, which is what they are doing. They're sending them their stuff, their product, and they're getting free advertisement because this influencer may have 20,000 followers and she's saying it's amazing. And like when you're sent something as a gift, that's why I stopped taking gifts, because you're like, oh yeah, lovely. And if it's crap,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, shit, I need to say it's nice. You're caught, and then you look bad.
Yeah,
The
that's
brand
not- it's
doesn't
not-
look
it's
bad.
not you.
You look bad. So the brand gets
yeah.
free advertisement. So I think it's really good for that. And
Unless you went on and you were fair and went, okay, I got sent this penguin bar. And do you know something? I
shite.
think that's just a bourbon biscuit with
yeah,
chocolate on it.
yeah.
If you could, but yeah.
But you see, the problem is it's all interconnected, all these PR companies, and that brand, that may be shit, but they may be working with a PR company that has other good stuff. And
Yeah.
if you say that's shit, they're like, don't send her anything now, because she's going to say it's shit. She's giving her opinion. So I think it's really important that rules are coming in, that people have to say that they're getting stuff that's gifted. And I think it's really good for influencers, because it means if you want to work with me, you're going to have to pay me now.
Yeah.
If you want me to say say that this is good, you're going to have to pay me.
Yeah, yeah. It's like any. It's like a
And,
business. It's
you
a
know,
proper business. Yeah.
It's a business, but like it's so funny. People are always like, oh, they're just getting loads of free stuff. It's actually a hassle because you've got like stuff there and you're like, oh shit, I need to come on and I need to trial it. And like, I'm so lucky because it's food. You know, I'm always getting asked, can we send you jars of this and jars of that and packets? I'm like, no, you're grand. I'll make my own. And I'm very lucky that I have my books. I don't need to be sent gifts because my books are my business. So yeah, these are the new rules that are coming in. So I suppose it's shit for someone who basically comes on their page opening things. But on the flip side of that, like seriously, it's gone so PC. Can people not make up their own minds?
Well, there's that.
You know, I kind of like, for example, a makeup artist there yesterday was using these eyelashes that she had been sent. And like, she put them on and you could visibly see that they were really good. And all she used to do, I suppose, is say gifted on it. But like, it's like, seriously, can people not make up their own minds?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, right?
You know, and it's the influencers are just getting the bad name and the rep about it because we are the first ones really doing this. We're not around long enough. There's no laws for us. There's no laws for trolling. People who send you shit messages, websites that tear you apart. The government don't give a shit about that. You know, and people don't give a shit about that. They're like, well, you put yourself out there. It's like, still, like, there's no laws for us.
It's amazing, you know, it is amazing. I've often said this, that you could get 100 remarks that say, you know, thanks for what you're doing. And you could get one then calling you a bollocks.
Yeah.
And you will naturally focus on the
terrible.
one that called you the
Human
bollocks.
nature, yeah.
I love that. The last week, during our celebrations, somebody sent a message and say, they just said, congratulations, Brendan, on your 25 years.
Stop it.
That's good. Yeah, you're a long-time listener.
Long-time listener.
And some people, I've been listening since day one. Now play, and they'd ask me for some country stuff that I've never played.
I get that all the time. Love your page, and I'm like, that's funny. You've only started following me because I can see all this. People don't realise that you can see all this, and you've never liked anything. I went back for a swim to the beach about 3 weeks ago, and was going into the sea and said hello to this girl that was standing there. Just pleasantly said hello. Hello, went in for my swim and came out, and the following week I got a message from this same girl saying, I met you back on the beach and this is my business and
Give me a
you
shout
might
out.
share it on your page. And I love your page. And I'm like, well, that's funny because you've never messaged me before.
Yeah.
You've never liked anything. First time I've seen you.
Yeah.
Can I not go for a swim?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, there's
Gas.
there's a certain thing that where people will take that leap and they'll think that you'll just do it for them.
Yeah,
and
but you just have to like.
That's where
you don't let it get you don't let it affect you, I suppose, or you just laugh at it. It's like every GoFundMe page in the country. Like, will you share this? Like, can't, because if I share that, I will
have to share
everyone else's,
Yeah,
and people are watching my page for food.
It's very difficult. It's a very difficult
part
line.
of the job and the tough shit. We have to suck it up, but you know.
Yeah, but it is amazing, and when you do get the negative stuff, sometimes and you a lot of the time you say that's not going to get me, but sometimes it just does. Sometimes you go, why did that now? What happened there, or what went wrong there? And that it just can get you sometimes.
Generally, it's just a reflection on the other person. They're just having a shit day. What was a great one I heard? Hurt people, hurt people. Ooh. I think that's a really good one.
That is, I like that.
Hurt people, hurt people.
Yeah. People like to hurt as well. I don't know. I don't know what kind of satisfaction they get. And you know, I've never sent a message to anybody about anything.
Imagine like doing that, sending a shit message to someone. Like,
yeah.
I don't. I have to say now, I really don't, touch wood. I don't get negative stuff at all because I'm given free food. It's like, well, that's fine. I'll just block you. You see, this is the thing. It's like, give me a shit message, I'll just block you.
Yeah. And then people who complain online. And actually, I found an article about the biggest complainers online. Really? Their names.
Really?
The names of the people. And
God,
the biggest complainer online is David, apparently. Yeah.
Stop. Is it? And you know, go on.
People call David are the moaniest keyboard warriors.
Oh my God.
Yeah. David's left over 20,000 one-star reviews since a website Trustpilot was launched, more than anybody else. Other big complainers are Pauls and Johns.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Men dominate the top 15 moaners. Names like Mark, James, Steve, Michael and Andrew also feature. And you know what the biggest female critic's name is?
What? It's not Sarah. Is it?
Well, I can't speak, can't lie. Sarah.
Oh my god. That's
So you and me are the biggest complainers online.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Anyway,
Love
there's
it.
one of those little bits
Got
and
our
pieces.
secret accounts on that nobody knows about. You're a shit DJ. You're a shit cook.
I always find that
We just
amazing.
message each other.
The people who have the secret accounts, I just don't have the time nor the
I don't know how
energy.
they have the. Well, obviously they just don't work and they sit at home.
It's
and,
just
like,
a prowl and
goodness.
say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know what I'm going to do
Whatever
this
makes
evening."
You feel good, honey. That's sound.
You know, you were talking there about ingredients in food,
Yeah.
and you were telling me about a new app that's out, and it's not just for food; it's for life.
It's for cosmetics as well.
Right.
It's called. I massively recommend everyone to download this free app. This is not an ad, by the way. Yuka.
Wait,
Why
do we have to put an ad before this now? But we have to say this is an ad for the book.
No, I don't know. Do I have to say ad when I'm talking about my own things?
I don't know.
Shit.
What's it called?
Does that mean I can pay myself for talking about my book? If it's an ad.
Does
That's
that
the
mean-
flip side, but positive.
Do you have to pay me for talking about your book?
Well, there's Sarah Butler and then there's the other Sarah Butler.
I got a star bar.
Yeah.
That's
gifted
your payment now.
That's, you need to tell your accountant to put that in a spreadsheet for gifted and be taxed on the star bar. So the app is called Yuka.
Yuka.
Yuka. And
Okay.
basically it's free to download and you can go into the supermarket and scan anything with the barcode.
Right.
In food, it'll tell you like the nutritional value. Mm-hmm. And it makes the beep sound. So you can pretend you work in a shop. Listen.
Okay, go on.
Oh, hold on. I've silent.
She's it's on silent.
Jeez. Oh, it's not a good result here, David.
Oh.
Oh no. It's 0 out of 100. They're marked out of 100. Oh god.
What, 100 what?
I don't know. Out of 100%.
100 in the world.
0 out of 100. All red. 6 additives that contain risky additives.
Oh, shit.
Saturated
What,
fat.
okay, can I just stop you there now? Do not do the wine.
It
Right?
doesn't work on wine.
Does it not?
No.
Okay, do the wine.
I was like, oh no. So basically it tells you how much sugar and if it's too high. And then on cosmetics,
Right.
let me just do one here in my bag. And I know that this is going to be a bad. Oh no, thank God. Oh, there is. Jo Malone.
All right.
So I'm going to scan my Jo Malone perfume now.
Okay.
Scan.
Where's the beep? There we go. There we
Okay,
go.
not too bad. Because one other one I saw was bad. This is 65 out of 100. And it's got
that's
a
good.
green dot. So there's not too many.
Oh, that's good.
It's all low risk. So you can do it on foundation and face washes. And you would be shocked.
Oh.
You would be shocked. I saw one baby head to toe wash. Did not have very good results.
Something that you're putting on a baby.
Yeah, body wash.
Wow.
It was like 43 out of 100, and there was something advertised in a big drugstore. I better not say any names,
Yeah.
because we could get sued. And it was lovely oat body cream. Had a lovely stall. It was pink,
So you think
pretty,
oat,
and lovely font.
Natural, homely,
This
good
stuff
for you.
drives me cracked. Like, I think it's the graphic designer in me. It's like, oh my god. It was 0 out of 100, and it contained some hazardous things in it that affected fertility. So yeah, I highly recommend everyone to download the Yuka app.
Can we trust Yuka?
Oh, you can trust Yuka. Yeah, it's amazing in the freezer section.
Right.
You
Oh.
scan your things that have been marketed really well and packaged so prettily. You will be shocked.
Wow.
But yeah, it doesn't work on wine, so that's good.
Can we mention some other things now? What other stuff? Oh yeah, I have a couple of quick ones. Let's go through these. What's that? Oh yeah, my star bar's going back. Let's go through
gonna
some of
eat
these. Huh?
Are you going to eat
I,
it?
I just wouldn't stop. You know what? You could say to me, "Oh, that's horrendous." I go, "Fine."
Well, I'd just be thinking, well, how could I eat the same badness but make it bigger? Like, you know what I mean? Could I make a cake? It's just that it's so small.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
You know.
It's like somebody got me a cake for my 25th anniversary, and they gave the cake, and the cake came in, and the best before date on the cake was like 2029.
I know.
And you're thinking that cake has
Seriously bad.
It's probably going to give you instant diabetes, but it also probably has the cure for COVID in there somewhere as well. But how does a cake last for?
Oh, it's so bad.
So,
like, there's 4 ingredients in a cake.
you can't
Flour,
eat that
egg,
cake.
sugar, and what's the other one? Butter.
So I couldn't eat that cake. I think that's your fault. I would have eaten that before I knew you. I'd have eaten that
Well,
cake.
look, I've not been a bah humbug, and I'm not saying don't eat the chocolate bar. And don't, like, Jesus, like, I will have my sweet stuff, and I'll never give up wine or things like that, white
right,
bread.
okay.
But just everything in moderation, and just awareness.
So let's say we say, okay, we're going to finish this podcast now and let's just go straight to the pub, right?
I'm actually going to go to the pub tonight.
Oh, and let's go straight to the
Want to
pub.
come?
And you go, oh, I haven't eaten. When we have the Star Bar. Would you eat the Star Bar?
Of course. It's
I
just-
finished these 6 penguins.
Yeah, I'd have to eat the penguins. No, it's not. I'm not telling people not to do this and not to do that. It's just to have the awareness, because we are very cleverly been fooled by packaging design.
Everything, isn't it? Even
Packaging design,
You know,
it's-
if you go back to our podcast, you will go through the supermarket experience. What's at eye level? What's not at eye level?
yeah,
all of
it's
those things.
amazing.
What's near the till? What's far away? Why do you have to go to the back of the shop to get the milk?
Yeah.
It's a whole science. It's a
Yeah.
whole thing. Both of you and I, since the last time we spoke, have had trips to the dentist, and had some. I've had a good bit of work done.
Did you?
Yeah, I did crown.
Oh.
Yeah, it's great though. We can eat anything now. We can eat anything. And the dentist said to me, he said, "You're going to be poking and looking at it all day." I said, "I don't even know which one it is." That's being completely honest with you. I don't look. What happened to you though?
I have a gross story. A really gross story.
Is it you now or is it somebody else?
It's the dentist gross story. Right, so I went to the dentist.
Yeah.
And I was lying back and they were busy in my mouth. They had gloves on and just checking. You know the way if you haven't been and it's check-up and they have to go back to your file and type in on the keyboard, right? So rummaging in my mouth and then swings around on the swivel chair and types. Back into my mouth, turns around, types. Does whatever has to be done. I got it clean, headed off. And then 2 days later, I had about 17 mouth ulcers in my mouth.
Oh.
And I was like,
Ow.
what? I didn't eat jellies. That's the only thing that gives me mouth ulcers.
Grapes.
And I decked. It was from the dentist's gloves
Ah.
on the keyboard, David. Because they were obviously doing the same thing for every mouth that they were in and not cleaning the keyboard keys.
Yeah.
So everyone else's germs were on the keyboard and then going back into my mouth.
Ugh.
And I'm still actually traumatized.
grossed out by it.
Traumatized.
Do they not? I know certainly with my dentist, I get the wash out of everything before and afterwards, constantly with the antiseptic washes and the
I
cleans.
did the pink drink thing, but I don't know, maybe it was too late. I was so disgusted.
But you know, we would be, we would watch people. Like I was watching the television this morning. There was somebody cooking, and they were cooking a chicken, and I watched her touch the chicken,
Yeah.
and then she touched the pot, and then she put the olive oil. She touched the olive oil and put it on the chicken, and then she put her hand into the salt and put the salt in the chicken. And all
raw,
I,
yeah?
and all I was thinking is, she keeps touching the bloody chicken.
Cross-contaminated, so many things.
And then
yeah.
eventually somebody must have said to one of the presenters in the air, said, "Will you tell her to wash her hands?" And she went over to the, and it was a 2-second cold water wash. I was going, that's the kind of thing that would drive
Yeah.
me wild.
So bad.
I was in a place the last day, a hospital. We're in a hospital the last day. I was sitting around watching people, all you sharing the same virus, using the same things. I was like, what? We've learned nothing!
Oh, he's getting excited now, lads. He's getting excited.
We've
Open
learned-
the wine, quick.
I'm bringing that yucca with me up there.
Shove
like,
that Starbar in your mouth.
oh, look at you, you're dangerous.
Well, we know what pisses you off.
From there, people, well, that's it. I do blame ye for that one because
What?
I was never like worried about touching or eating or until I met ye.
No harm. For
Never.
You to be
I mean,
aware of raw things.
I do remember a trip
contamination.
we had to France where if you touched anything, the second you touched it,
Sanitize your hands. We spent our time.
Sanitize
We all
your
went to Disneyland together. So it was like a station of 3, or how many of us was there? 4 adults and 4 kids. And every time we'd say, get off the bus. Everybody had to line up and it was sanitize your hands. And it was hands out like you were
Yeah.
getting Holy Communion. So
if you'd be on a ride, you'd be like, oh, that was really good, hands out.
we were like, the skin was peeling off our bones on the way home.
Anyway, that was fabulous. Okay, look, we're at the time where I'm going to have to try and make up a quick fire. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything else? Have I mentioned everything now?
I think you
Because
have.
it'll probably be Christmas, let's be honest.
I know, we'll try and make it happen a little bit more often, as long as I don't go deciding to write another book.
Shit.
I'm very busy, David. Very, very busy.
Would you share your bed with a pet, a dog or a cat?
My bed?
Yeah.
Well, I would let the cat sleep on the bottom, on the outside of my bed. I would not let a dog in. I think that is so disgusting when there's dogs outside and then they come in and sleep in the bed. I think it's gross.
Apparently a third of us do. A third of people in Ireland do.
Yeah, no, I think it's gross. But that's me. I am like Monica.
14-year-old cat has broken the Guinness World Record for the loudest purr from an alive cat. Why can a dead cat make a big...
Did you know that a cat can purr when they're scared?
Oh.
I had to get my cat x-rayed. And see, she was limping. Very expensive x-rays on cats. Had I known that now, she would have just been left in the garage for a few days to heal.
Where's that app? Yucca. Go on anyway. What were you saying about the cat?
Goldfish. Oh yeah. So I brought her in and I was like, she's really happy. She's purring like. And the vet was like, well, they actually purr when they're frightened as well as when they're happy. I never knew that.
Apparently, Irish people spend about €2,000 a year looking after their pet, buying them birthday and Christmas presents.
Oh yeah, you can get pet cakes and everything.
Yeah. Apparently, they looked at the habits of a lot of people, and 81% of households have a dog, 29% have cats.
Oh.
A fifth have both a cat and a dog. Or
how many have 2 dogs, 3 cats, 2 horses, and a goldfish?
Have you goldfish?
No, he did. Finally died.
We had a goldfish went on. He was alive for about 15, 16 years. He was no longer gold, he was see-through at the end.
Lose their colour.
Tell you what I'm going to do for a quick fire. I'm going to just go randomly back through our quick fires from down through the years. Back scratched or back massage?
We can't beat a back scratch.
A good old back scratch is good, yeah. I was listening to somebody recently and they were saying that it was a very famous man, Conan O'Brien. He was saying that they were talking about restless leg syndrome, and they were talking about where you get it's a neurological scratch. So you think you've got a scratch, but you don't. Oh. So you'd be scratching away, but there's nothing there to scratch. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Look at your husband's search history or let him go through yours. Cheers.
What's the question? Like, what's more exciting?
It's going to be tractors.
It's going to be just Dundee.
It's going to be tractors and
Dundee.
Re-gift or buy something new.
Buy something new.
Yeah, and just throw away the gift.
Unless it's someone you don't like, and then you can give them.
Own up or take it to the grave. Take it to the grave.
Sorry, I just sold a book.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fall over in public or fart in public?
Oh God, fall over.
Well, if I fell over, I'd probably fart at the same time.
Yeah. You do a shit.
Follow through. Nobody look at me! Oh, do you know the most amazing thing about it is these days with cameras and videos and people filming, if you did fall over, there would be 5 people would have a video of that.
Oh,
it's so frightening.
Bad. Thank God we grew up in the 80s.
Hear a comforting lie or an uncomfortable truth?
I suppose an uncomfortable truth.
Oh yeah, you'd like me to tell you the truth?
I always say to people, like, you know, if
rather than a lie that comforts.
On Instagram, please tell me if I ever become a dick or say something that you're like, oh, Sarah. Always say that to people. A comforting lie.
So, your cat was in a really good place when they saw the car coming, or an uncomfortable truth. Yeah, he got splattered by the. You know, I don't know. Sometimes a comforting lie.
I suppose it depends on.
Can be a good thing.
Yeah, I suppose if it's like, yeah, I suppose.
Hakuna Matata or YOLO.
You asked me this before, and I don't know what either mean. You know when you know, is that YOLO?
No. YOLO is you only live once.
And Hakuna Matata is...
Is no worries, isn't it? No worries. Hakuna Matata. Didn't know I could sing.
I don't know. What's the question?
I don't know. Which one would you do? Yeah, both.
You only live once?
Wear pants that are 3 times too big or shoes 3 times too small.
No shoe jokes, David Cawley. Pants that are too big.
Rather be in a fight club once a month or a book club every day. Fight club.
Oh, fight club.
Rather live without potatoes or cheese for the rest of your life. One of those, you got to pick it.
I'd have to go without cheese. I couldn't live without spuds.
Neither could I. I would happily live on spuds alone.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Take back anything that you've said about a person, or hear any conversation about you.
Oh, hear a conversation about me.
Would you genuinely? I'd hate that.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Oh, I'd hate it.
Walk away and go, that's good to know.
I don't know, because
knowledge is power, David.
I don't know. I don't think I need that knowledge.
David would be crying.
I'd be crying. I'd be hurt.
Drinking
my feelings
wine,
might be saying I've become so emotional at this age.
That's it.
Finally now.
In your old age.
You had to have a go. You couldn't leave it. It couldn't be one where you didn't mention me age. Would you be the clown that distracts the bull,
Right.
That was a
Or
yawn.
the one that jumps on top
That
of
was
the
a
bull.
yawn. Or the cowboy who sits on the bull.
Yeah, the cowboy that sits on the bull.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the clowns are, I think, if you were to look at it statistically, the clowns are the ones that get the biggest
They
batons.
do.
Anyway, there you go. There's some quick fires.
Very
Down
good.
through the
That
years.
was a very good way of doing it.
Anything else we need to share with our lovely listeners who've spent all this time listening to us?
Buy the book. I'm only messing. No, thanks for listening. We
Yeah.
didn't really plan this. It was very
No.
much a last minute thing. So if you're still there, if you're still in there listening,
Find David on TikTok.
find David on TikTok.
He's going to be a star. He's going to do something.
There you go, David. You could have a little, what do they call them, your alter ego on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but I can't even come up with my first TikTok. How am I supposed to do 5 a day?
I know, this is it. Once you start, you can't stop.
My content level is on. I'm just like, no. I that's another thing I meant to ask you before about, like, so I would get to the point, even when I'm like putting up a picture on my Twitter account, which is nothing.
Yeah.
I would look at that a few times and go,
know.
I don't know, should I put that up? Or
Yeah.
I don't know, am I looking like an ass doing that? Or
I know, you do.
is there always that every time?
Always. Well, yeah.
That
I mean,
internal, or do you just go, I don't care?
No, I never go, I don't care. I like psychoanalyze everything that I put. I'm like, oh, that music, the audio didn't sit in there with the way the video changed, or that clip was a little bit too long. It's like, oh my God, Sarah just posted. That's what I kind of psychoanalyze.
Wrestle with.
I'm not going to be putting up something and go, oh, should I or shouldn't I? Because it's food.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you for listening. The email address is sarahbutler@home@gmail.com.
That's it.
Did well. Sarah's book available. You get all the information on Instagram and available in a number of shops next week. The next time we talk, it'll be book number 4.
Oh, stop. No, definitely not. Or I'll be in
Or
the
finally, I'll do book
institution.
number 1.
Yeah. You can start a book. There you go. My life in radio.
My life and my star, my star bar bars, which full of nutrition and wine. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.